Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have a check-in with our friend Luke from Taylor, Mississippi. Well, he's moved from Taylor, and we're going to find out how he's been doing. He has a new career in the park ranger field. So before we get into that, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. Those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fan fiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that, well, they just don't fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may or may not like what you hear. Last but not least, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1, 2, and 3. The audiobook version is available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. They were written by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Now, those links are in the description below. These books have true, unbelievably crazy Dogman encounters that have not been heard anywhere else. Not on my channel, not on anyone else's channel. Because Tom literally reached out and got exclusive interviews with people that have not talked to anyone else. So, honestly, if you want a fresh Dogman encounter that you have not heard, check out these audiobooks. Now I've taken enough of your time. Let's get on with today's upload, shall we? Alright guys, today I have a very good friend of the channel, a guy that the majority of you already know and like. A man who has had generations of dealings with the Dogman, or what his family calls the walking wolves. Tonight I have Luke with us. Luke, how are you, buddy?
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm doing pretty good, actually. God's been great to me, so I have no complaints here. And I thank everybody for the support and well-wishing and checking up on me. And that's been a lot through these difficult times. Me and my family are actually having a good time in a new location. So, haven't had any encounters with the walking wolves. But due to my new profession, actually working within the forestry services, like I might get into actual detail, but I do work within like the park ranger side of things. The reason why I chose that field is because I feel like, due to my experiences, that I could actually help people with what they've dealt with. If I ever did have an encounter, if I ever did run into somebody in the forest or in the woods, wherever the location I'm at the time, I can help them deal with what they're going through. Another personal reason why I'm doing that is due to the fact that a lot of us now starts to wear body cams. So I've already purchased my own separate body cam for the one that I have at work. So when I do go in the field, I will start recording things. And so next time I have an encounter with either a Bigfoot or, God forbid, a walking wolf, I'll have that on camera, and then I'll share it on Jeff's channel. So to actually try to put that out there for the public to know that these things are real.
Yeah, it's definitely a field that, you know, you really belong in, you know, with all of the craziness that you've dealt with since you being a kid, you know, and then granddad, dad, great-granddad, years of experience. And I really think it'd be beneficial that if someone had an encounter with one of these things, that you would be, you know, the person to show up on the scene and talk to. So that's cool. I really think that's a great choice there. But you've had some crazy stuff that's happened since we've last talked to you. So
Yeah, man, I had a crap load of crazy things. First of all, like back in October 2nd, up at I think Burtonsville, Maryland, about not too far from where I'm at. There was a missing person. I think his name was Anthony Joseph. He was walking on his way home, and he never made it home. And so I was still training at the time. I am still training, but I was really fresh on the scene. So I went with my trainer to the location and found out that the last place that he was seen, there was Forested Park, not too far from there. So as we investigated, it seemed like it was a sign of a struggle, and somebody or something drug something off in that area. The body was never found, but it looked like there was a whole bunch of like fight or whatever you want to call it. It was like a disaster area. So that case is still open. Another thing was, about a month or two after that, a month and a half after that, I was training in my superior at the time gave me coordinates, because what we do is we to how to track missing person, last known location, get you GPS coordinates, and then they set up like dummies or whatever. So I have to go to the area to find out if I can locate the person. So I get the GPS coordinates. I drive over to the area. So at a pickup truck that I have a four-wheeler in the back. So I unload the four-wheeler and then drive the four-wheeler about 3/4 of the way there. There's the area is blocked off. My four-wheeler can't get through, so I hike the rest of the way there. So I'm about 300 yards away from the location. And so I started getting closer to look around. So I started hearing noises in the shrub. And I'm looking around to see what it is. I'm thinking it's one of those walking wolves or a Bigfoot. So I pinpoint where the noise was coming from. I had my binoculars on the side of my head, so I pulled it out about 20, 30 yards away. I see something looking at me. At first, I thought it was just a deer. And then as I got a closer look at it, it looked like it was a goat, but not a regular goat. So I'm thinking that I'm looking on the map to see if there's any like farms around the area. Somebody goat probably got free or whatever. And then this thing stands up, and I'm like, oh my God, and this is not a goat. So I'm backing up slowly. At the time, I only had my service weapon on me, and that wasn't going to do much but piss it off. So as I'm sidestepping, have my eyes on him, I look to see where I'm going. I turn around. The thing disappears, and then I'm listening. I hear it tearing through the forest, flanking me on my right side. So I start hauling ass back to my ATV. And it feels like this thing was like getting closer, so I unholster my service weapon, and I fired in the general direction to try to see if I could scare it off. But it was still coming, so thank God I was able to make it to my floor at the time. So I get there, this thing is like literally like not that far within like grabbing distance of me, and I peel out of there. And as I look at it, the thing looked deformed, face looked demonic, dark brown, had hooves as feet, it had 3 fingers, like thick fingers, like almost like a pig's, but spread out with like claws behind it. Once I got on my ATV, it didn't give any further chase. I don't know if it wanted me out the area or not, but I have heard stories that if you get caught by, or you have an encounter with goatman, you don't rarely walk away from that. But I got to my truck. I loaded everything up. I went back to base. I told them I was able to complete the mission due to the fact that I got chased out by a bear, and I had to report unholstering my service weapon, and that I fired such a shot at the bear. I didn't hit it, but I scared it off. So I ended up taking off a couple of days because of that. And right now, I'm actually doing well. So I don't know if y'all remember, like when I moved here, I used to go to the local park, like far in there to leave apples, and I had a encounter with one of Bigfoot, and actually became cordial with because he actually helped me. I believe it was him that helped me the time when I actually crashed my vehicle into the ditch. That he was able to pull it out so they could find me. So one of these days, I went to do what I usually do, because I do it like every few weeks, apples, bananas, and things like that, of that nature. So I go there, I leave it. So I'm in the park on my car. The wood line from where I parked is like maybe give or take 100 yards away. So I do that. I'm in my car checking emails on the phone. So as I was doing that on my passenger side, a Bigfoot was standing about 3 feet away from my window. And it's not the one that I became acquainted with. This one was much bigger and much more aggressive. It looked in my window, about 2 feet from my window, and it roared so loud that I literally soiled myself. And then it hit the side of my car, started beating on my car. And at the time, I had my service ribbon right there under the seat, and I was too scared to grab it. So I was able to come to my senses, and then I peeled out of there as fast as I could. And then as I looked behind, Joe, it had a freaking big rock, like about the size of a bowling ball, and just threw it. And it literally landed as I'm tipping off on the side of my car. I heard the impact it made.
Wow.
So pretty much, other than that, yo, I haven't been back in that area, because I think that one ran the other one out.
Right.
And this one doesn't take kindly to humans.
Yeah, that's crazy. Really quick, getting back to the goatman. Now, that had 3 horns on its head.
Yes.
And it made, because I had talked to Luke about this before we did the interview, and it didn't make like the goat noise. It made this like terrifying, monstrous noise. Nothing.
Yeah, with a lot of bait.
Wow. And that's, I mean, Jesus. Were you able to see, when you turned around, were you able to see its eyes, like the how they were shaped or whatever?
Yeah, I saw his eyes. The eyes was all black.
All black.
All black. Pupils and everything, all black.
That's crazy. And he was dark brown in color.
Yes.
Wow. That is absolutely insane. Now, one thing that you did share with me also is that you had to go back to Taylor, Mississippi.
Yes.
And your property. What happened there?
Oh, yes. There's a business that I had to take care of back in Taylor, Mississippi. It wasn't on my property. That's what the sheriff's office had to clear some things up and help them with an investigation that they was doing. So upon that, Joe, my curiosity got the best of me. So I wanted to see like what the property that used to be mine looked like. And as I went there, I didn't recognize it at all. I actually thought I was in the wrong area because the whole thing was level. Everything was gone, houses and everything. So
wow,
that was a big shocker to me as well.
So your house, your dad's house, everything in that area is just gone.
It's gone. Gone. Like it was never there.
I bet you they filled in the den too.
Oh yeah, they did.
Wow.
Because the den is not too far off the road, so I was able to I could see it from the road with binoculars actually, because I actually know where to look and what angle to stand at. The den is not even there no more. It just looks like a regular hill.
Okay.
and stuff like that. So
now, did they clear the trees out and everything too, or did just
they didn't clear the trees out. The only thing what they did was wherever the houses, the barn, and all that other stuff, they took that out, and they actually they put rocks, like boulders, rocks, and stuff like they're trying to plant more trees there. What they're trying to do, I believe, because the way it looks, is trying to make it part of the state property or whatever. Because now it is state property.
Okay. So have it be like wildlife state land then.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. But the Goatman story, that I've been sitting on this for a couple of months when you told me about it. And, you've been busy with your new job and the move and getting yourself and your family situated. And tonight was the first time I heard about it, and it just blew my mind. This thing, you just can't even imagine how you must have felt. What you were going through at that time mentally. You dealt with walking wolves.
The fear that I felt was the same fear that I felt back when I was in my 20s, when the first time I ever encountered one of those walking wolves. And I looked like it had me looking like I was thinner. I felt like I was 5 years old. Like, I could, at the end of the day, I already knew what I had. I knew my service weapon was going to stop this thing. And at the end of the day, this is something new to me. I don't know where its weak points. And one thing I know, I can confirm 100% is you're not going to be able to take that thing down with a headshot, because the head looks like it's freaking rock hard.
Yeah.
Rock hard.
Yeah.
So, even if I was able to get a headshot, I think I would just pissed it off.
Absolutely.
Unless I was able to shoot it in the eye. And I'm a good shot, but I'm not that good of a shot.
And that's insane. I mean, you're going out looking, for this. You're doing your job, training, looking for a body, and then all of a sudden, I could just imagine, being what you've been through and your family's been through. You hear brush moving instantly. Probably walking wolves goes right through your head, Oh, shit.
That's the exact same thing that went through my head. I'm like, oh, shit, they found me.
And then you see this other
and then I look at it, I'm like, this thing, it was, when I say this thing was ugly, man, oh my God, it was ugly.
Was it muscular? Was its arms muscular or not really?
It's not muscular. No. But it's not muscular. It's not skinny. It's bulky.
Bulky, okay. What would you say it weighed, just by a guesstimation?
All right, so it was I'd say it was about almost 7 feet tall, so I was like, it's at least over 300, maybe 400 pounds.
Okay. That's freaking nuts. I'm just blown away by the 3 horns and shit like that. That's just, and the claws, the way you describe the claws is, it's almost like the hooves on the back in the front kind of manipulated and were kind of mutilated or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, after that, I had to take a couple of days off.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I told my wife, I didn't want to tell her what I saw. So I just told her that I had a run-in with a bear. It's not one of them walking wolves. I did tell her about the Bigfoot, and I warned her about that. So.
Right.
But yeah, that thing was pissed that I was there.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure. I mean, just to how's your dad doing? Doing well? Adjusting to the move?
Yeah, he's doing good. Yeah,
that's good.
He's doing pretty well, actually.
That's very good.
Yeah.
The kids are doing well?
Yeah, they're a pain in the butt, though, but they're doing well.
Good. The move, I'm just, the adjustment from, living on your
land. It's easy for kids to adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have a lot more friends down, more into technology. They go to the park and things like that. because to go to the park over down Mississippi, you got to drive some ways. And then a park that you can go to is like almost in the woods, so at least you know that there's like cities, houses, and places around and stuff like that. So it actually feels like one of those like television parks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, you've had a couple of really crazy months. I know that, you know, you're going to be out in the woods when spring comes, and, you know, I hope that you don't run into any more craziness out there. But if you do, you've got a good background here for people that love you and really asked about you. You know, I said a couple months ago, so people wanted to hear what's been going on with you, and this will make them really happy. All I can say is, you know, stay well, and, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, my friend, because it's great to hear you in a better mood. You sound like you're in a better place. You know what I mean? Your demeanor is a lot happier, and you just sound better.
Yeah, I feel in a better place. So I hate to lose my property, but at the end of the day, honest to God, it feels like the burden has been lifted.
Right.
I still know that there's still like some of them walking wolves in the area, but not as much as my previous area. And from what I heard is mainly the ones that are being tagged, the ones that are tagged there in my area. Because when I heard Victor say it was Silver Springs, ND, I really caught goosebumps. I'm like, damn, that's 30 minutes away from me.
Yeah, and they're always traveling too, so it's crazy that there might be 10 around you one day and then 4 the next. It's nuts that they're just... I'm wondering if this thing that you saw in the woods, what it would do if it met one of these walking wolves or a Sasquatch. You know, it's just... Because you only hear...
Honestly, I think it'll give it a run for its money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you only hear limited encounters with these things, and they never turn out good. You know, there's not a good ending at all. You know, they're very violent.
They all end up missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all end up missing.
Very lucky that you got out of the woods that day.
Yeah, I was. I had a sidearm and I had bear mace.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I wasn't gonna go down without a fight. I'll tell you that much.
So when you got to your ATV finally, that's when it just gave up chase.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure that it was like if it really wanted me, because you got to mind it takes you at least a couple seconds to start up your ATV.
Yeah. And
that thing can clear could clear like at least about 20 feet in like 5 seconds. So, or less than 5 seconds. So, at the end of the day, I per se don't think that it wanted me, or if it did want me, it got tired of the chase, because I don't know what their anatomy is like.
Right.
For long distance running. Because when I got to my ATV, my lungs was burning. I think that's the fastest I ever ran in my life. And I just literally just hopped on the ATV in one quick motion, just gunned it, just hoping it didn't stall me.
Yeah, wow. I keep picturing this thing in my head, and it's friggin' nuts. It is nuts. Well, I did ask you, you know, for a short kind of interview, so I really appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing what's been going on. A lot of people have asked for you. A lot of people wanted to know that you're okay. And, you know, so I've been worried about you too, because, you know, you reached out and then I didn't hear from you. So I was like, wow, man, I hope he's okay. But yeah, it's great to hear from you.
I do appreciate the love.
And you sound great. You really do. You sound a hell of a lot better and more clear-minded than when you were in Taylor, Mississippi.
And thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, thanks everybody for all your well wishes. And just like I said before, just trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, then obviously it's not right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you for the update. And please stay safe while you're out there, and good luck with training.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Wow, really nice to hear from Luke. I'm glad that he's doing well. And I mean, you know, maybe it's just me, but he sounds a heck of a lot better than he has in a long time. I remember talking to him in the very beginning, and he was just, you know, he was sort of what we heard tonight, but not really. And then as time went on, and he was dealing with these creatures more often on his land, his family's land in Taylor, Mississippi, it was literally just wearing him out. You could hear it in his voice. He was just destroyed. His family has been plagued by these creatures. I mean, we're talking great-grandfather, granddad, dad, himself, and his children. So this is 5 generations. I mean, who knows what happened on the land prior to this. So, God, I'm just glad that he's doing well and happy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's upload as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And with that, I'm going to bid you guys farewell.